My daughter's desk area needed shelves. What I didn't expect was that a simple piece of fluted trim would be the thing that tied the whole space together. Here is how I built them. This is a small room. There's a desk along one wall, a simple writing desk I wrapped in peel and stick grass cloth wallpaper, which I'll link below, and the wall above it needed shelving. Not a lot, just enough without making the room feel closed in. In a small room, there's a tension between maximizing storage and preserving visual space. The challenge is gaining one without sacrificing the other. For these shelves, that meant finding the right depth, deep enough to be useful, but shallow enough to keep the room feeling open. The depth I chose was 8 inches, just enough to hold books, small bins to corral smaller items, and personal toys and trinkets. I started with Select Pine boards. Select Pine is a cleaner, smoother grade, fewer knots, more even surface. And I cut mine to the exact length of the desk so they'd align visually. Matching the shelf width with the desk created a more cohesive, built-in feel across the entire workspace. Before the stain goes on, give the wood a light sand. Even clean boards benefit from it. It opens the grain and helps the stain absorb evenly. I used Varathane in rose, and I'll be honest, tinted wood stains can be tricky. A color that looks soft on a paint chip can appear very saturated on wood. This stain was exactly what I wanted, a muted, dusty blush, not too pink, just a subtle hint. I applied 2 coats, letting the first dry completely before the second, and I skipped a top coat entirely. I like a matte finish. Now for the fluted trim. This is the detail that elevated these simple pine shelves and gave them the look of custom millwork. The fluted trim profile has small repeating vertical grooves and complements the same trim that I used for the writing desk. It's a classical detail, and when it shows up on something as simple as a shelf edge, it reads as custom. I stained the trim to match the desktop in the same rose-colored stain. The attachment is straightforward. Construction adhesive along the back of the trim, press it into place along the front edge of the board, and hold it while it sets. You don't need clamps if you hold firm pressure for a minute or 2. Be sure to let it cure fully before you install the shelf. The shelf brackets started as black iron brackets I had from our previous home. I've always wanted to try rub and buff and knew this is a great opportunity to give this application a try. I chose the rub and buff in European Gold. If you haven't used this product, it's a wax-based metallic finish that you can apply with a brush or a soft cloth and buff out. The coverage is immediate and controllable. You can build it up or keep it light. What I was after was a patinaed brass finish, not bright yellow, not shiny and new. The European Gold shade was just right. Such a transformation, right? Brass accents already appear throughout the room, from the sconces to the drawer hardware, so choosing patinaed brass brackets help carry that material through the space and reinforce the overall design story. When everything came together, the rose stain, the fluted edge, and the patinaed brass brackets, it showed how simple materials and thoughtful details can create something that feels genuinely custom. None of these materials are inherently luxurious. The luxury comes from the consideration behind them. If there's one material I keep returning to, it's fluted trim. This is the second project I've used it on. The first was the grass cloth desk right below these shelves, and that video is linked in the corner. The shelves, the desk, the brass accents, none of these decisions exist on their own. They're all part of the same design story. That's the part of the design that interests me most. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'm documenting the process of building a home one thoughtful decision at a time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.